My name is Alex, and several years ago, my overbearing boss discovered my long-distance relationship with a woman at another office branch. He tried to worm his way in, hit on her shamelessly, and when she turned him down flat, he fabricated lies to get her fired. But I didn't lash out right away. No, I waited, planned, and delivered a revenge so precise it shattered his entire world. If you've ever had a toxic boss who thought they could control your life and get away with it, or if you've dreamed of turning the tables on someone who wronged you deeply, smash that like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another epic revenge story like this. Let's jump into how I turned betrayal into bittersweet justice. It all started back when I was grinding away at a mid-sized manufacturing company. The job wasn't glamorous, long hours on the production floor, dealing with machinery that hummed and clanked endlessly, the air thick with the scent of oil and metal shavings. But it paid the bills, and that's where I met Emily. Well, not exactly met. She worked at our satellite office about 200 miles away, handling admin stuff. We connected during a company-wide training session. Sparks flew over bad coffee and PowerPoint slides, and before long, we were in a committed long-distance thing. Weekend drives, late-night calls, the works. It wasn't easy, but she made it worth it. Her laugh could cut through the static of a poor connection, and just thinking about her brightened those gray factory days. My boss, let's call him Harlan, Mr. Type A to the extreme. Picture this guy, mid-50s, always in a crisp shirt that strained against his gut, strutting around like he owned not just the company but everyone in it. He had this smirk, like he was always one step ahead, and he loved messing with people. Control freak, doesn't even cover it. He'd rearrange schedules on a whim, pit employees against each other for motivation, and laugh it off as tough love. But here's the kicker. He was married to another employee, Karen, who worked in HR. Sweet woman, blonde hair always tied back neatly, oblivious to his wandering eye. Or at least, she pretended to be. Harlan's real hobby? Photography. Not landscapes or family portraits. No, he snapped pics of his conquests. Yeah, you heard that right. He'd cheat left and right, capture the moments mid-act, and then, get this, show them off on the production floor like trophies. Check this out, boys, he'd say, pulling out a photo from his wallet, his voice booming over the machines. The guys would chuckle nervously, but inside, we all knew it was gross. Power imbalance at its finest. I kept my head down, focused on my work. But somehow, Harlan got wind of me and Emily. Maybe through office gossip, or perhaps he snooped. Wouldn't put it past him. One day, he corners me by the break room vending machine, that smug grin plastered on. Heard you're seeing that admin girl from the East office, huh? Emily, right? Nice catch. His tone was all fake camaraderie, but his eyes had this predatory glint. I mumbled something non-committal, grabbed my soda, and bolted. Should have seen the red flags waving. A few weeks later, Harlan announces he's heading to Emily's office for a routine audit. My stomach twisted. I knew his trips often doubled as hunting grounds. Emily called me that night, her voice shaky over the phone. Alex, your boss. He asked me out. Said we could grab dinner, talk about career opportunities. I told him no, that I'm with you. She laughed it off at first, but I could hear the unease. He's just a creep, right? Nothing to worry about. I reassured her, but inside rage simmered. How dare he? The next day, it escalated. Harlan pulled her into a meeting, all professional at first, then leaned in too close, his cologne overpowering the small conference room. Come on, Emily, loosen up. Alex doesn't have to know. She pushed back, firm but polite. I'm not interested, Mr. Harlan. Please respect that. His face hardened, that control slipping. Rejection wasn't in his playbook. By the end of the week, whispers reached me. Emily was on thin ice. Harlan spun some yarn about her performance issues, doctored reports, and bam, she was out. Fired over email, no severance, just a cold services no longer required. I got the call from her that evening. She was sobbing, her words tumbling out between breaths. He lied, Alex. Made up stuff about missed deadlines, errors I never made. I can't believe this. My fists clenched around the phone, knuckles white. The drive to her place that weekend was a blur of anger and helplessness. Seeing her curled up on the couch, Eyes puffy, jobless because of that bastard. It broke something in me. But I didn't explode. No, I played it smart. Harlan thrived on reactions. I wouldn't give him the satisfaction. We'll get through this, I told her, holding her close, her head on my shoulder. But in my mind, wheels turned. Revenge wasn't a snap decision. It was a slow burn. Months dragged on. I watched Harlan parade around, unchanged. He'd brag about his latest fling, flashing those photos like badges of honor. Redhead this time, boy's feisty one. Laughter echoed, but mine was forced. I knew where he stashed them. Not at home, where Karen might find them. No, in his office desk, bottom drawer, back corner. He'd mentioned it once, drunk at a company party, boasting about his private collection. Risky, but arrogance made him sloppy. Opportunity knocked on a quiet Saturday. Overtime shift, just me and a skeleton crew. The cleaning lady, Maria, sweet older woman with a thick accent, unlocked Harlan's office for dusting. I hovered nearby, blueprints in hand. Hey Maria, mind if I pop in? Need to measure something for these drawings. She waved me off with a smile. Sure Mijo, just close door when done. She shuffled toward accounting, humming softly. Heart pounding, I slipped in. The office smelled like stale coffee and his overpowering aftershave. Desk drawers creaked open, files, pens, junk. Then jackpot. A stack of photos 4 inches thick, glossy and damning. Harlan in various states of undress. Mid-act with women, dark hair, redheads, none like Karen's blonde. His face clear as day, grinning like a fool. I pocketed them all, hands steady despite the adrenaline rush. Door clicked shut behind me, and I was out. No one the wiser. Patience was key. I scanned the photos at home, kept originals safe. Waited for Harlan's next trip, a week-long conference out of state. That's when I struck. Lunch break, I drove to his hometown post office, the one closest to his house. Selected a dozen pics, the most explicit, showing his face and the women's distinct hair colors. No note, no return address, just an envelope to Karen at their home. Sealed it, dropped it in the slot, and drove back like nothing happened. My pulse raced the whole way, but a calm settled over me. It was done. The fallout? Glorious. Harlan returned to chaos. Whispers spread like wildfire. Karen had filed for divorce. She'd opened that envelope, photos spilling out onto the kitchen table, her world crumbling. I imagined her gasp, the tears, the rage building as she pieced it together. His affairs right there in color. Her lawyer? Ruthless. Took the house, half the savings, alimony that left him scraping by. Company policy kicked in, fraternization with employees, plus the scandal. And he was demoted, then quietly pushed out. Last I heard, he was working some dead-end sales job, alone in a crappy apartment. The climactic moment came indirectly. Emily and I were at a company event months later. Her back on her feet with a better job elsewhere. Harlan showed up, uninvited, looking haggard, bags under his eyes, shirt rumpled. He spotted us, approached with that old smirk fading. Alex, he muttered, voice low. You wouldn't know anything about certain photos going missing? I met his gaze, calm as ice. No idea what you mean, boss. Emily squeezed my hand, her smile hidden. He slunk away, defeated, the mighty Harlan reduced to a shadow. That look on his face, shock.